The past week, unless you've been living under a rock, has been quite terrifying. While we wanted to talk about all of it, we didn't know where to begin, and quite frankly, we still don't. So let's start with a recap. The terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir on the 22nd of April claimed the lives of 26 men. This attack was carried out by 4 terrorists with ties to Pakistan-backed terror groups. An important point to note here is that this isn't the first time that Pakistan has been accused of enabling and safeguarding terrorist groups.
So when you say there are no terrorist camps in Pakistan, that is going against what General Pervez Musharraf has said, what Benazir Bhutto has said, what your defense minister said just a week ago. In fact, what Bilawal Bhutto said to me a few days ago, he said that terrorism and funding and backing terrorist organizations has been and was part of Pakistan's history.
So on May 7th,
India launched a precision cross-border military strike codenamed Operation Sindoor. 9 terror-linked sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir were struck with air-launched missiles
in retaliation to the Pahalgam terror attack. While India maintained the stance that we targeted only terrorist camps, Pakistan alleges that the Indian strikes killed 36 Pakistani civilians. So in retaliation to our retaliation, they launched Operation... I don't know how to say that. Following 3 days of this back and forth, both countries have agreed to a ceasefire. And while the United States and Donald Trump try to take some credit for this, it ultimately didn't matter because Pakistan breached the ceasefire agreement in just a couple of hours. To make matters worse, there have been multiple reports of China and Turkey siding with Pakistan as well. Luckily, our long-standing ally Russia stated that they'd side with us. So as of now, the situation remains tense. The international community is scared because both of us have nuclear arsenal and diplomatic talks have been scheduled. Fuck, that was a long week. But as of recording this video, things seem to have quietened down a bit, so we wanted to use this respite to talk about war. So as much as the general public is pining for one, I don't think we fully grasp the toll war has on the ones involved. Here are just some of the predictable outcomes. 1. Risk of nuclear escalation. Both India and Pakistan have over 150 nuclear warheads each, so even a slight miscalculation in a small war could have catastrophic consequences for both the nations. 2. Massive civilian and military casualty. Any large-scale conflict would likely result in significant loss of life on both sides. Missile strikes and drone attacks have already caused dozens of deaths, and a broader war would exponentially increase the civilian and military casualties. 3. Humanitarian crisis and displacement. A full-scale war would displace millions, particularly in regions like Kashmir and Punjab. Infrastructure destruction would disrupt access to food, water, shelter, and medical care, making this an actual humanitarian emergency. 4. Economic devastation. War would severely damage both economies. Trades would halt, foreign investment would flee, and critical infrastructure could be destroyed. 5. Diplomatic isolation and global pressure. Both countries would face intense international condemnation and pressure to de-escalate. Diplomatic ties will start degrading and embassies will start closing down. So this doesn't really help anyone. 6. Regional instability. A war between India and Pakistan would destabilize South Asia, potentially drawing in other powers such as China, Russia, and the US, affecting neighboring countries also. 7. Long-term breakdown of trust. Even if a ceasefire is reached, mutual suspicion and hostility would deepen, making further cooperation on critical issues such as water sharing, trade, and counter-terrorism even more difficult. 8. Escalation of religious and nationalist tensions. Both countries have seen a rise in religious nationalism, which would be further inflamed by war, risking communal violence and undermining social cohesion within the two countries. 9. Environmental and infrastructural damage. Guys, have you seen any country after war look the same it did before war? You don't, because there's going to be so much damage to infrastructure that we can never get back. 10. Human rights violation. Past conflicts have seen increased human rights abuses, especially in contested regions like Kashmir, including detentions, disappearances, and curfews, further worsening the plight of the local population. Those all sound terrible. We here at the Archive aren't political analysts or wartime strategists, and I reckon most of you aren't either. So at this time when the stakes could not possibly be higher, we urge all of y'all to trust the government we've elected to do their job. Hey guys, this is Ankit from the Edit Table. While we were shooting and editing this video, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation. In that speech, he established Operation Sindoor as India's definitive response to terrorism, particularly following the Pahalgam attack, which he described as terrorism's most barbaric phase. Modi declared that India had drawn new red lines regarding Pakistan, asserting that our country would no longer differentiate between Pakistan's government and terror organizations, and would respond decisively to any attacks despite nuclear threats. He highlighted the operation's success in destroying terrorist infrastructure and eliminating over 100 terrorists, forcing Pakistan into requesting a ceasefire after feeling helpless and hopeless. The Prime Minister symbolically dedicated the military's bravery to Indian women, invoking the cultural significance of the sindoor, while also emphasizing that while India desires peace, we do so from a position of demonstrated strength. Now back to the video. Furthermore, we are seeing a ton of fake news, so please get all your information from verified government sources and pray that this matter does not escalate. I leave you all with a quote by Neville Chamberlain. In war, whichever side may call itself the victor, there are no winners, but all are losers.